So now I'm back in the kitchen again. Previously, when I was working in the kitchen at the camp, I was in the dish room. Besides me coming in there just to help them put together meals. So at this point, they're telling us all details on the compound is suspended until further notice, until they get a grip on the spread of COVID. Well, they put us in a new room that nobody's in. They moved some more people around. Tell us to go inside our rooms with these people who are supposed to be quarantined and grab as many things that we have as possible, and tell us that we can go do laundry and wash our things, because now we're going to be the frontline workers for the compound every single morning at 4:30, that we need to meet at the kitchen until they start releasing the inmates back to their job details. So I'm all for it, because again, I have escaped like a lockdown on top of what I have just went through, that has been so traumatic for me, because I had never been treated like that before. And I could not believe, being a mother, being a caretaker, and somebody who cared about other people's well-being and health, that I was incarcerated at a medical facility that didn't give me any medical care. And despite it being COVID, you would think you would get basic necessities. I got none. And so I kept that in mind, because they didn't understand that they had pissed me off so much that I had another plan for the BOP. And I had already decided that when I left prison, I was going to move on with my life and just go about it as if this never happened. But this sparked something in me. The treatment that I received, what I seen other people receiving, and as people started to return to the compound and go back into a lockdown, and they were telling me the treatment that they received, it put a fire. I mean, it basically started a fire within me. And I was like, I'm going to have to start contacting people on the outside, because the people on the inside don't care. I started writing my administrative remedies, complaining about what happened to me. Of course, they fell on deaf ears like everything in the BOP. So I knew that I would not get the answers that I needed from within, that it would only be if I went on the outside with this. And so I decided that I was going to start complaining to our congressmen, our senators, to our president, if that's what it meant, that they needed to be made aware of the conditions and the COVID treatment at FMC Carswell, that the pandemic was not under control by any means, and that the BOP were not being honest if they were saying that they had a grip on this virus, because they didn't. The way it had spread it through the camp, and the way it was spreading across the street, and the handling of it was just unbelievable for me. Honestly, for me at this point, I had a dish that was going to be served, and it was going to be served cold to the BOP. I just felt like that this was something that needed to be addressed, and that somebody had to listen to what I had to say at some point, or what was going on at FMC Carswell. It was too many things that was going on at this fake medical facility. And to hear inmates coming to this facility and saying, well, they sent me here because they said it was a state-of-the-art facility, that I would get the best medical treatment, and the BOP, these judges are telling me this, my attorney is telling me this. And I said, well, listen, those judges that are saying that, they've never set foot in this prison. Your attorney that's saying that has never set foot in this prison. The thing is, the people who have not done prison time and the people who are sentencing people to prison time have never set foot inside of a facility. So what they're saying is speculation, untrue, unfounded. And maybe if they actually did care to step a foot inside of one of these facilities, or any facility period, they would see that a lot of what they're saying is untrue. We're talking about FMC Carswell, which is known as the Hospital of Horrors, who operates without a medical license, who has faced multiple lawsuits from multiple inmates on multiple occasions over the years that are still unsettled. The fact that judges are sending people to this facility and saying it's a state of the art and that you're going to get the best care is just beneath me. Like, I don't understand. Like, how could you lie and say that these people are going to get the top of the line medical care when they're actually not going to receive any medical care, or very little medical care at all? So I'm back on the compound, and out of nowhere, people in blue suits from the military, who are like medical professions, are in like these people are like nurses in medical fields on the base, coming up to us while I'm working in the kitchen, giving me a cup to pee in, basically telling me and everybody that just came back from across the street that we need to be tested for COVID. So I'm like tested for what? They say that you get tested before you came back to the compound, and I'm like, no, I went through the quarantine period. They told us after 10 days that we could come back over here. I was still sick. I did still have symptoms, but at that point, I felt like I'd rather come back to the camp by saying I was not ill than to face another day in that hellhole. And so I came back to the compound, and I was worried because these people were saying we need y'all to go take a break and urinate in these cups and give them back to us.